Hi, this is James Tapankov for Tapankov Digital Learning Services based out of Spruce Grove, Alberta. And today's video is going to be about using the clone page function in Smart Notebook to record the progression of an idea. And this particular one that I'm going to show you is actually going to use a bit of a formative assessment approach and a very simple way of being able to keep track of the thoughts in the heads of the group in front of you and where they are in their heads towards progressing towards a goal that they have for the day or for a project or for something that just needs an end point in sight. I'm going to come out of full screen mode here and just give you a brief overview of what this is going to look like. This actually came from a PD session that I ran over a few days in a district, and I needed a way just to give them kind of a visual way and also a way to follow the progress of how close they were getting each day to the goal that they had set at the beginning of the session, which was obviously first thing in the morning after they had their coffee. So what I did is I created a page that had a target on it, and the first thing that they did in the day is they came in and they actually signed their name around the outside of that target. And their goal in this particular instance was a personal one, so it was something that they wanted to get to towards the end of the day. And we talked obviously about what those goals would be. So fine and dandy, but what I did with this, and this is the use of the clone page feature in Notebook that I think is incredibly powerful and not enough people used in order to track the progression of something or anything, is a couple hours into the session after we did some of the things that we were scheduled to do for the day, I took that page and went back, and we were doing other things in the meantime, and I created this file separately, I clicked that first page over here on the page sorter toolbar, and I went to clone page in the menu on the top right-hand corner. And what it did is it made an exact copy of that particular page, and then I asked everybody to come up and move their names closer to where they thought they were for their target. And we saw a bit of a progression of where people went, and we had a discussion about this after lunch. And then at the end of the day, I did the exact same thing, except with this particular page. I cloned this page, and then at the end of the day, we ended up here. And you see something actually very interesting down here. A person named Jan went to the outside after going back to lunch. Jan was already in the middle. Came to a very interesting discussion because Jan at lunch already hit all her goals and then found out how much she wanted to learn. And at the end of the day, she completely went out of the circle from the target because she had so much more she wanted to hit and she knew she wasn't there. It was really interesting to be able to have that discussion and also to be able to follow the progression. And this is me just using the arrow key, down arrow key on my keyboard, and it kind of animates how that idea and how those people progress towards completing and hitting their goal for the day. So we did this all 3 days. Here was the next day. In the morning, a little bit later, near the end of the day, not everybody hit their goals, but it gave me a very clear reference throughout the day where everybody was, just by cloning each page as we went. And this is the last day that we had as well, where people did the exact same thing. So in your class with your students, if you have an idea that you want to do some formative assessment type things on and just be able to capture how that idea is sinking in for people throughout the day, it's a very simple tool that you can use. This target is actually in the gallery for Smart Notebook. So if you type in target at the very top here, and I press enter, what you should see is in the pictures, there's a target right there. You can pull that one in. A very simple, quick way to use Notebook, and also a very powerful one, because if you use the Smart Recorder with this and then talk to people about how they got to where they were in the endpoint of the progression, a lot like I'm using the Smart Recorder now to record this video, you have some very, very powerful, in-depth views of why this happened and what people were thinking and what kind of process was going on in their head for that particular concept. So this is something that I wanted to show again. I find it very powerful, and if you have any feedback or ideas on this, I'd love to hear from them. And here's how you can get in touch with me at Tapankov Digital Learning Services. If you have Smart in your district or in your organization or video conferencing or any technology that requires live digital collaboration, please get in touch with us and we'll be more than happy to help you make it meaningful every time.